Hello, everyone. This is a brief video overview of one of the assignments that you'll have this week. This is the hypothesis social annotation tool here, and it's something that we'll use for a lot of the readings that we'll do together as a class. The instructions for these, because it's a third-party tool, will always appear right above the link. So it's really important that you click on this first, and ideally that you print these out so that you can have them in front of you. If you have a split screen system and like to split the screen, that's certainly fine, but I think printing them out is also a good option. I show you a few things here in terms of how to, on the screenshot. What you see here is the text editor, which I'll show you a moment in the live assignment. But when you type an annotation on a specific part of an article, there's a little post button down below. And right now I have us in individual quote groups. So you're not actually in a group, you're all by yourself. So you'll actually post to your name. This is really important and what allows me to see your annotations. Don't ever click on the only me posting option unless you are posting something that's just private for yourself. There is an option for that, but if you do that, I won't actually be able to see that annotation. So always click on your name. Let me go ahead and scroll through to show you a couple of other things. When we make annotations, and you'll see this, you can kind of see it really small right here. It says add tags. It's important that you add the required tag types so that we can make sure that you are um, covering various things and you don't just have like all annotations all of the same type. Not all tag types that you see here are required for a given assignment. These are the ones that I tend to reuse over and over. Just so you know, for this first assignment, you don't have to do any lateral reading. In fact, please don't, because our first paper is based only on this one article that you're going to read, so you don't need to read any other things. Later in the semester, there will be times where it will be required or encouraged for you to do lateral reading and to make connections to those things. But for this particular one, we'll be looking at the claim comment tag, the question tag, connection, and reflection. So everything should fall under that. And in addition, I will encourage you to use descriptive tags also so that you can go back and find the topic of what it is that you were tagging for. The minimum requirements for this assignment are 2 to 3 annotations per page, skewing toward 3, meaning you should have 3 or more per page on average, but don't force it. There could be some pages where you have 2. You shouldn't have any pages where you don't have annotations at all. So I also have some example annotations here on a different assignment that I used to use, just kind of showing you what those things look like. You have the ability to add videos and visual elements too. Even though these are generally not required, they can be quite useful for yourself just to kind of draw your attention to those annotations, because the whole point of these is not so much for you to do something performative for me, but this is a way for me to get everyone to process an article, identify certain elements from it, but more importantly, to figure out what you think about it and what connections you can make and things like that. These will be useful to you later when we're putting together the paper. So the instructions here kind of show you what the different tag types look like, even though those examples are on a different thing. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's close out of this and click into the assignment so that you can see what it looks like. When you click in, this is what you'll see, and I happen to be in Michaela's space right here, but if I click here, everybody has their own space, and I have copied over just some reminder posts from myself. So I have a reminder here to please always read the instructions right above the assignment. And then right below, I have a sample post that's kind of a pseudo sample post. I have identified the thesis of the article for everyone to make it a little bit easier for you, and then I posed a question to the class for you to think about. A couple of things to keep in mind in terms of the how-to aspect is whenever you make a post, or later if we happen to be in small groups for a hypothesis assignment, if something is a little bit longer, you just come down here and click on the More Post, and it will expand. If you ever need to edit a post, you'll click on the little pencil icon. It opens up the text editor. You make your changes. This is where you add your tags, the descriptive tags, kind of identifying which tag type it is and any descriptors that you have. And then you'll click on your name to post that so that you and I both can see that. If you want to add visual flair, you can. It's not required. I like to do it for myself on a lot of the posts just so it draws my eye to it. If I'm ever in a group with others, it also draws their eye to that and maybe makes it a little bit more likely that they will look at that, maybe read what I've had to say and respond to it. This is individual though, so it's certainly not required, but just keep in mind if you don't add any flair every now and then, you're just going to have the plain text annotations. Nothing wrong with that, but it can kind of just become a wall of text. If you ever do want to add some visual flair, you can come in here, and if you click on the little image icon and you click on that, it will come in with kind of a little template here, and then you would paste an image URL that you want to go there. If you ever want a video or anything, which we don't need for this one, but if you ever do for that, you're just going to paste the URL in there. Don't put it in the video and don't put it in the link, because if you do, it'll just be the link and it won't show the thumbnail. If you want to, sometimes I like to bold elements for myself or for others. So notice right here, I did bold this part that says question to you. It doesn't look like it here in the editor because it uses markdown language. But if I click post, you'll see that it does. So basically to do that, when you're in the edit mode, you'll kind of cover over or highlight the part that you want to emphasize, and then you would go up to the editor and click the B for bold or the I for italics to, make little adjustments to that. If you ever wanted to add a link to an article or something, again, which doesn't really apply to this particular assignment, but just for future reference, then you would also, in the editor, you would just click on the little link thing here, and it comes up with a place for you to put the link for the article to share with your group, or if it was just something you found like later when we're working on the research paper, it's a good way for you to kind of keep track of that. A couple of other things. Let me show you how to make an annotation. So what you do is you come over, and I'm just going to choose something random here to illustrate. And it can be kind of annoying. You see, sometimes you accidentally annotate or select a whole lot. We don't want that. You want to annotate phrases or maybe a single line. Avoid annotating or highlighting like huge, giant blocks of text. Kind of isolate your attention to something smaller. That will be even more important when we annotate in small groups so that you don't have somebody kind of highlighting half of the page, and yeah, that's a bit much. So we kind of want to dial in our focus. So once I've got that highlighted, notice that it comes up with a pop-up little menu here, and you've got a choice between annotating and highlighting. We always want to choose annotate because that's what's going to bring up the box so you can type words. We don't really want to use the highlight feature because that just colors the page. It doesn't really capture what our thoughts are about a given item. So I'm going to click on annotate, and then notice that it brings up the little annotation box here. This is where you type your comment. It'll go as long as it needs to go. This is where you add your tags. You click post to your name, and if you ever need to edit anything, you just click on that little pencil icon. Pretty easy and straightforward. We don't really want to use page notes. If you do this, probably people won't see them. I won't think to click on them. There are some use cases for it, but we're really not going to use that. So we'll always be on annotations over here. And we've got a couple of other tools right here that I want to direct your attention to. Number one, there's this little eyeball kind of icon. This is going to be more useful when we're in groups. And when you click on that, it will unhighlight the text, which will be super important. If you're in a group of, say, 6 people and you're seeing what everybody else highlighted, that can be very distracting. So if you go click on that little eyeball icon, it will hide everybody else's, little highlights, if you will, of the parts that they've annotated so that you just have a clean text to work with. And then later you could go back and click that little icon again and turn it back on. This is also useful right here if you ever wanted to print something, the article that we had here, you could click this icon. I do put the articles though in the actual lessons. There's usually like other copies that you might find it easier just to use those to work with. These are the main things that we need right now, and it's pretty easy to use. It's really interactive, and the value of this is that notice you have a lot more space and the ability to add multimedia for later assignments. Again, we don't really need to do that for this one unless you want to add some visual flair. I do recommend for all the things that we read together, and also really for the things that you read on your own for this class or others, is that you always print out the articles or the whatever it is you're working with. I guess unless it's a video, although we can also annotate videos here in Hypothesis. But for articles, I recommend that you print them out and read them by hand offline with a pen in hand, and that you annotate those. And if you're the type to take notes on your reading, I recommend that you do that as well. For this one, I recommend that you at least print it out and read it through once with a pen in hand, simply because that just kind of gives you a sense of what it's about before you come in and do this. Not that you have to prepare to do this. And few other things I want to say before I wrap this video is that this assignment and homework assignments in general are not formative. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to use fancy language. And please, please don't use AI to make your annotations here. The point is not for you to highlight part of a paragraph and tell me what it's about. I've already read the article and I know what it's about. It's for you to process the article, break it down, and start figuring out what you think and what connections you have. And maybe there are things that you've seen on Netflix or TV or read on the news that you're going to kind of bring into your comments. It's very informal. Think about what you do when you annotate your articles or the things that you have for this or your other classes. Typically, you don't have an audience for those things. You're not worried about impressing anybody. You're just trying to process what's there and figure out what you think. This just allows me to be a fly on the wall. And so you'll see that when I have sample posts, it's just me being myself. Um, I know that I am the professor for this class, but I assure you I am a regular person just like the rest of the class. And we're not here to impress anybody. We're here to work together so that we can all be successful in the class. So that's it for this. But before I wrap the video, let me bounce back over here, and once I release the lessons for the week, you'll see a couple of things. Um, an introductory lesson right here, super short and to the point. A lot of it you probably already know. What is rhetoric? What's the value of it? And so on. I'll probably return to this later and say a few things about it, but I just want to show you. I do recommend that you read that first. I am expecting that you kind of know those key terms, and moving forward, it's not rocket science or anything. And then this second one is also super short, and this is a brief overview of the article, what it's about, what it's not about. Super short. Here is the article itself, which you can click on the caret to expand it. Notice that you can download it by clicking on this. You probably already know that, but just in case anybody didn't know. And then I have an interactive card here that has all kinds of things. The first thing you should do is click on the watch button. It's going to bring up a little video. It is like 1 minute in length. It's meant for instructors or faculty, but it kind of shows you the ropes in 1 minute of the video. And then what I like about this is I put some things here that are kind of quick links to, if you're ever like, oh, how do I add a video, or how do I do XYZ, you'll click on the appropriate, link that I have there, and it'll take you to that part in hypothesis. Since this popped up right here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. This is a happy accident. Just so you know, in case you really like the hypothesis assignment that we have in the course, the company has a free version of that that's available just on the web, and all you need is an email account to sign up for it. I use my Gmail, and I've had some students that really like the hypothesis tool, and so they'll use the public web version to annotate articles, texts, basically anything you can access online for themselves. So it's a really neat thing, and I highly encourage you to check it out if you find that interesting or useful. So let me close this out. That's it. That's a wrap. I'm going to render this and get it out so that everybody can see it. And this will be the first thing that we do this week. There are some other things that I will release and show later in the week, so don't tune out after you've done the hypothesis assignment. We'll have some other things to talk about, but this is the main one. Okay, that's it. Y'all have a great day and a great week. Reach out in Pronto or via STC email if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.